Hello everybody. It's Tuesday morning. Having some problem with my phone. And I just passed the sign that says New York City 135 miles. So I'm in Pennsylvania going into New Jersey. And I was going to try and catch the sign. And I managed to put on some of the videos. It's hard for me to put airplane mode on. I do that so if somebody calls, it doesn't stop the video. But I managed to get it on. I was going behind a truck and it was kind of slow. I said, oh, let me put this on. This is traffic coming in. So now when you come into New York, you know, all the traffic going into New York is like that. And I thought I'll wait a little closer till I get to where you see signs, Lincoln Tunnel and all, to give you, but that's all right. I want to do it now. When you drive, it's Tuesday morning at 6:30 Texas time, 7:30 in New Jersey. I didn't change my clock yet, but I figured I would, do a video coming in like this. And this one I'll do a little longer because you saw when I left Texas. If we get all the videos right, some of these trucks go real slow. The most I'll drive normally is 80 miles an hour. In the states that you're allowed to do 70, everybody does about 10 miles over the speed limit. That's the permitted, rule, I think. In some states, the speed limit's 55, and I've tried. If you cruise at a certain speed and everything you're used to doing that speed, like 70, it's more dangerous to do 55 because you're not. So to me, I've got to be at about 70 to really be able to drive well. On this trip, I'm in the car that my sister had. She passed away and I took it. And this car is a 1999 Mercury Sable. It's a good car, but when I got it, my mom said, if you want to take it, try it. When I was in New Jersey, right like this, when it was wet, it had electrical problems and everything would kind of shut down. I mean, the car would still run, but then all your lights and everything would go off. I told my mom at the time, she kind of felt bad. I said, no, I just let you know. So my sister had problems with this car. I did a lot of work on this car, and I'll make this quick. I did a lot. I changed the gas tank, did all the brakes. I did a lot more than you would normally do for a vehicle like this. And the mechanics will know what I'm talking about. Air conditioner compressor went out on the car. It was out for a long time, but when the bearings get real bad, a couple of times it kind of lit on fire when I was in Texas, and I told my mechanic, Oscar, Mexican mechanic Oscar, I said, no, Oscar, the bearings on the... Now, there are ways you can get around that, and I've done this on a Mercury Marquis that I had for years. You reroute, you just bypass the compressor. I've done this. And then you get a fan belt, a serpentine belt, called, and you just get a shorter one, and you reroute it around all the things it's supposed to go around. Well, when it went out on this car, that's what I was going to do, and I went on YouTube and all, and Googled rerouting the belt. On this vehicle, you couldn't do it because you can do it on some you can't. But on this one, you couldn't do it. So you can also buy, which I bought, a replacement pulley, meaning you take the old AC compressor out, you bolt that pulley on, mechanics know what I'm talking about, and then the belt just goes around the pulley and you just get rid of that old compressor. I don't need AC. So I bought that part and I was going to have Oscar put it in. And when I went to the mechanic, he's very cheap, he does good work. But he told me, no, we rerouted it without the pulley. I said, oh, I understand, Oscar. I said, I was going to do it myself. I'm familiar with it. But when they rerouted it, which is on right now, it works, but the front and the back of that belt is hitting the pulleys, and you're not supposed to have that. It's supposed to be the ridges of the belt that are on the pulleys. Well, I looked at it when he did it, and I said, but I really would only trust that for like Corpus Christi, not for this. I don't have a credit card anymore, and I have just a few $100s at the end of the month in my balance. I'm assuming now because of the gas and all. So if the belt did go out, no mechanic would, that car would be, wherever it went out, it would be there. It would stay, because no mechanic will reroute it like that. And I wouldn't be able to reroute it because I couldn't do it. So I was a little, leery. I forgot about a lot of that until I left. But I thought it was good. Driving like that, sometimes, you get tired. There was a truck in front of me just about 30 minutes ago, and he had two big lights, red lights on his back of the truck, different than regular truck lights. It was two big red lights, and it looked like red lights on a street where it's a stoplight. Sometimes when you're on the road, you're on the interstate and you go under little overpasses, and in the past, some of those overpasses have stoplights, and if you're driving, you're thinking, is this a stoplight? Do I have to stop in the middle of the interstate? And so when I was looking at that truck in front of me, I kept, you see things when you drive long, you start hallucinating a little bit, and that happens. A lot of truckers will tell you. So all those things were kind of, I just figured I'd share some of that with you. And when you drive long hours, so I've been on the road. I left Sunday morning, and I was trying to think of, see, he's going too slow for me, this guy. I left Sunday morning at about 11:30, Corpus Christi, and so it's Tuesday morning, 7 o'clock or so. Now, I could talk a little longer, being I have that airplane mode on. I noticed a lot of the, I felt like, maybe I'll try and live in my car. Because I'm sure I won't. But I felt that. And then I was thinking, a lot of my homeless friends, they've had periods where they've lived in their vehicles. And I also realized that a lot of guys that are on the streets, alcoholics and drug addicts, deal with mental issues. And sometimes over the years they would say, why don't your friends stay in the Salvation Army, or why don't they stay in different places? Some do, but they've told me, I don't want to be in, and I kind of identify a little bit with feeling like there's not really a particular place. This has been going on with me for about 4 or 5 years, that you feel settled. Now, I could teach a little. In Scripture, I've taught these. It says, "Here have we no continuing city, but we seek one to come." And it's saying that we're pilgrims on the earth. There's a sense of that it's not always wrong to have that feeling of I'm not comfortable anywhere. It's not always mental issues. There's also a sense of, I saw a little commercial the other day, and it's a kid that tells his father, I quit college, or I quit my job, and the father says, so you quit your job, you got a new car, it's a car commercial for some vehicle, and he said, and you're going to just drive across the country. And the boy tells his father, yes, Dad. And then the father says, I wish I had done that. And then in the next clip on that commercial, the dad is with the son, just driving across country. sort of like I never had the opportunity, the father would be saying, to do something like that. When I stopped for gas just a little while ago, I still went through Maryland. You still go through West Virginia and Maryland and Pennsylvania before you get to this spot. I think I'm already in New Jersey, but it's this. I recognize this is Interstate 78, which is the best one to take. I've done 80 also, which is just a little north of here, but that's not it. This is the one. There's a sense in people, especially as they get a little older, to get out, to want to go. The lady at the gas stop, I asked her not too long ago, I said, how far near to Interstate 78, which wasn't far from where I was. She said, oh, I've never even, I'm sorry, I don't even know what road that is. I said, oh, that's okay. I'm driving from Texas all the way into New Jersey. And then I was right off the highway. It was right off Interstate 81. And she said, oh, I just come to work, every day on 80, which was the interstate. I said, actually, it's 81. She said, oh, see, I drive it every day and I don't know. But she was nice because I said, that's all right. She said, Merry Christmas and safe travels. And some of the people at the gas places I stopped at, they don't even say thank you. Okay, there's a sign, New York City, 122. I always remember those. I want to say also, I posted a picture, I think it's in Arkansas. There is a rest stop. When you're driving on the road like this at night, you come across rest stops. Oh, I want to light a cigarette. You come across rest stops, and they're always on the right. They're never on the left. On the interstate, you wouldn't be pulling off on the left into a rest stop. There is a rest stop. You'd be on the road like this. I think it's either Interstate 30 or 40. I've done it before, I'll tell you this. And as you're driving like this at night, the road is straight. And then you see rest stop, exit, and lights and all. It's also like a store, corner store, Well, when you see that at night and you're right on the road, your first instinct is, being they're all usually on the right, your first instinct is you're going to swerve left because you're on a highway doing 70 miles an hour. Some of them don't have lights. You don't know where you're at. Sure enough, when you get right up to that thing, you're supposed to go to the right to stay on the interstate. And you don't know that. I've done this before. I remember after this happened, I didn't go into it. So people ride from the interstate, and I said it too. I didn't curse. I don't think I cursed, but I said, what the hell is this? They go straight from the interstate into that's why I know this has happened before. They have like one of those things truckers have on the highway where if you can't stop, you get off the road and there's a big, road that goes up a mountain so you can slow down. That's why those roads are there. They didn't have something like that, but they had like a thing where you could tell people have ran right into that thing. I thought, man, that is the worst. And the reason they did that, I'm assuming, is they wanted to have access to that rest stop, whatever, right off the highway on both ways, so they kind of stuck that in the middle. There is no other, I've never seen one like that before, and I can tell that people have gone into that. That's dangerous, just because you get used to a certain mode when you're driving. Like everything's on the right, on the interstate. If you're going to get off an interstate, you're not going to exit left into doing 70 miles an hour. So, but in scripture, I could do a little bit here. I figured I'd go a little longer, being you saw you can see why I tell my friends, and I've been telling them, I didn't think I was going to go. There are a few songs I listen to. Big Old Jet Airliner from Steve Miller Band. A lot of those old songs have that theme of just go, hit the road. That's within people. I think it's within us to be on a journey of life. So it wasn't, but I heard that song. It was Head East. I don't know if that's the name of the group or the name of the song. I have it on my YouTube videos, and it says Head East. And sometimes I'll listen to those songs while I'm there sitting at the coffee shop. And I just, because I'm never really comfortable in any one place. So I think that was the sign for me. I was going to teach a little on, I do history, and I'm at the part of the Reformation in the 1500s, and the history of the Amish and of the Mennonites, which I just counted. You go here in Pennsylvania, you have, I think it's Lancaster County, a couple of different places where the Amish, they're not the same. I think I have friends that are Mennonites. Oftentimes we have a view of people, Mennonites are good Christian people, okay? Amish are good Christian people. Quakers, they have a history. There are things that, normal Christians maybe would think, oh, these are Quakers, and these are Mennonites, and these are... The Mennonites come from the Anabaptists, okay? The Anabaptists, the word simply means the word simply means rebaptizer. Why did they get that name? Okay, I'll do a little bit. In the 1500s, you had the three main Protestant reformers that were referred to as the magisterial reformers. That was Martin Luther out of Germany, Wittenberg, Germany. You had Ulrich Zwingli out of Switzerland, and John Calvin really is French, but he's also associated with Switzerland because I taught him one of the videos that he stopped in a city called Geneva, and I think the man's name was William Farel, but there were some Christians there that wanted Calvin to stay in the city of Geneva, Switzerland, and help establish a city. And he established a Christian city, Christian principles. He established what's called, I think, a consistory, but it's sort of like leadership. Look at that. Look at that house. And so Calvin also at times associated. Now, I want to get to the Mennonites and to the Amish. There were some believers, Christians, who sincerely took the view, say, sometimes I shut off the cruise control. Oh, it's another New York City sign. Hope you can see these. And some Christians at the time of the Reformation, they said, we see other things in the Bible now that we're reading Scripture, and we want to be more faithful to what we see in the Bible. And this is where the term Anabaptist rebaptizers came from. They felt like in Scripture you should only do adult baptisms, not infant baptisms. And so a few of them made a statement and said, we're going to get rebaptized as adults. Well, the reformers, the Protestants, as they were breaking away from the Catholic Church and from Rome, they didn't always fully break away in a sense that many Protestants observe their faith today. Some only broke away in certain areas, but they still kept infant baptism and other things. Ulrich Zwingli, this became an issue and a debate at the time, and they said, well, how should we view these people that are rebaptizing? And some of them, under the hand of Zwingli, because he was running his own sort of Reformation, Protestant movement, breaking away from the Catholic Church out of Switzerland, Zurich, I think. And he said, let's drown them. And he drowned them. And the place where this happened, so he killed them because he felt like they were being seen. You see, even in the history of Christianity, you see times where Christians thought it was a part of their faith to execute those who they deemed heretics, okay? And that was obviously a huge mistake. But the Anabaptists come from that heritage. And oftentimes we say, well, aren't those the Baptists? Later on. Technically not. And some of the fundamental Baptists and all, they will argue, no, we're not from them. Correct. There was a man by the name of Menno Simons, and so I'm right in this territory where a lot of the Amish and the Mennonites are. Okay, they also believed in Scripture. Jesus said, you know, when you're a kid and you have friends that might. I had a friend of mine, Mark Philadelphia, in high school, North Bergen High School, where I'm being not too long. I'll be right in North Bergen. And when you used to stand up to say the Pledge of Allegiance, he was a Jehovah's Witness, and he would not want to do that. And we used to think it was strange, but they were permitted as a freedom of religion thing. But why did some, and some of the Mennonites, some of the Amish, not all of them, but some, said we're not going to swear oaths, we're not going to do certain things, because Jesus said in the Bible, don't make any oaths. You have heard that it's been said, honor all your vows or oaths, but I say unto you, do not swear or make them at all. And in the letter of James, it kind of says the same thing. Now, these are sincere Christians who feel. I had a friend of mine by the name of Randy Steed, and Randy was not. He was Baptist, sort of at the time. We went to a Baptist church, but he had 16 years in the Navy, and he was debating whether to not re-up for the last 4 years, which would mean he'd be able to retire. And he was debating whether he should, and I told him at the time, many years, I said, Randy, I said, I would finish the 4 years. You know, I know you have problems that you don't like going on in the Navy, but so he did re-enlist, but he had one problem. He said, John, because of that same scripture, he says, I don't want to make the vow. I don't want to do, you know, the oath that you would have to do. And I think they allowed him to not do it. And in his part, he just felt, because he read that scripture, that he shouldn't make the vow. So, and that's fine. When I was a young boy, my father took me to this area just to visit the Amish community. And we ate with them, and some are, some are more legalistic. Legalism is a term we use that says you begin and this you can have it with Pentecostals, you can have it with Baptists, you can have it with all. You begin to kind of associate the faith with what we call convictions. Convictions might be some Christians, like the more strict Baptists. The women had to always wear dresses, and if they wore pants, that was considered like a sin. And so convictions of things, going to movies. I remember a lot of the old Baptist preachers, some I used to hear when they came through our little church as evangelists, they'd have messages on like card playing. If you play cards are demonic or whatever. So some Christians in various Protestant expressions of Christianity, they carry that maybe a little too far. And so some of the Amish we associate with the buggies and all because of certain readings or understandings of Scripture, but not all of them. So this is kind of an area. But you see in the history of Christianity, and from what I've just talked about now, you see that Christians, you know, have divided over certain things. And I think where we're at, when I was on this ride I got to listen. I forget that, I have, throughout the day, when you see me making videos in Texas and all, I have a system where I got to be out. I got to be walking. Got to make interaction with my friends, because any hours where I'm just, stagnant are difficult for me. I have just mental difficulty. And there's about a period of time when I'm driving at about 11 o'clock to about 3. I realize that I'm usually going through, I think it's on Interstate 40 when I start feeling that way. And I'm like sometimes I think, I got to make this ride now. But I usually commit. I'm like, well, you said you're going on the YouTube. You can't turn back now. Your friends all see it on the video. You say, John, we would forgive you for that if you turn back. I know, I wish you told me that 1,800 miles ago. So I hope you like this trip. I think it's beneficial to this is like a little road trip. I'll put all these. I debated, last night when I stopped at the rest stop, I figured, see how long I went here. Last night I stopped at the rest stop, and I thought, well, let me go ahead and look at all the videos I made. Sometimes I don't know if I curse on the videos. Now, I've left those up. I've never removed them because I did curse, but sometimes I don't remember. So I looked at just about each one, and each one, I think, I'll put it up just for the sake of, you got my friends. You can follow me on the little road. You see my home stay. You see, it bugged me that I had 2 teaching videos that I was making and then writing, posting. And I kept thinking, if I want to make sure I finish the last video before I take off, because that'll be on my mind. It was. I'm like, I almost thought I'm going to stop. Look at this guy stepping right off of the... And it bugged me, and I look at some of these roads. You got hardly any room on some of these roads. But I was thinking I'll stop at McDonald's. I gotta set the cruise control. I'll stop at McDonald's and upload, but I thought, I won't do it. I'm very impatient. And look, some of my friends that text, Jimmy Dean, you guys, when I stop, I thought on this trip, I thought I'm gonna relax a little more and maybe enjoy it a little more. But I'm too impatient, okay? Too impatient. So when I stop, I just stop, I fill it up, I use the bathroom, and then I'm like real fast in the car. Sometimes when I turn the phone on for the video, I'll see all missed texts, missed calls. I don't text, I texted my daughter, Debbie, last night, because I saw when I stopped at the rest stop, missed call from her, and I said, no, I'm in Virginia, because they didn't upload a lot of videos. So some of the, it would have been nice to take some pictures of the Blue Ridge Mountains, I guess, the Appalachian Trail. Some of the scenery is nice. It's not that cold. I thought it'd be a little colder right now. I think the first day of winter was yesterday, maybe, or today. I got to put antifreeze in this, because I know there's no antifreeze in this car, so I'll do that. Some of I'll start seeing, it's real overcast, so I thought, if I start the video maybe in another 15 minutes, I'm heading right in. This road, for my friends that are in Texas, my little hometown called North Bergen, you basically follow, I know it by heart now, but you follow just every sign that's New York City, and then you see exits for the Lincoln Tunnel to go into New York. You see various exits for the George Washington Bridge, and there's an exit for a little town. I don't even know, it's been screwed up for many years, those little exits. But you get off anywhere on those, and then you get on to, we call it Tunnelly Avenue, but it's a truck route, 1 and 9. So it's kind of right there, stopping that spot. And I think I did a little teaching video. There was one verse that came to my mind yesterday. And you think, and maybe some of you say, John, if you didn't have all that rock and roll blasting, I've tried both ways where, I'm not going to have any of that rock and roll blasting. I'm just going to maybe have live Christian music on. It's worse for me. I have to be, if I can start, I've tried, like, I'm going to settle down, I'm going to have more, I don't know. It's better for me to be, I do better if I'm a little more wired. Some of my friends say stuff like that, wired. So I just do better if I'm kind of in a fast mode, okay? And I think it's good for some of you guys to see the little road trip. And I gotta shut my phone off, or shut this camera off, pass this truck, okay? And then hopefully we'll have a couple of videos going up. God bless everybody.